Go to YouTube right now on your phone. So look up the channel like Screen Crush. So have you guys ever seen like a YouTube channel like this? They do like movie reviews, comic reviews. Like I say, I'm kind of a nerd. Is that Ryan Airy? That's my boy. That's Ryan Airy, yeah. So you guys are light sports fans. So before the game, they have a show talking about the game, right? They have a pregame show. They talk about the game before the game. We have the game. Then after the game, we talk about the game, the post-game show. Did you know that that exists now for like TV shows and like movies?
Well, I remember Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So like I got into these like when Game of Thrones. I am a big fan of like Star Wars and like the shows that come out now, the movies, like yeah, there's like channels that are just dedicated to like all the different like nuances. Now I don't know if I go that much. So to me, I kind of call myself like a nerd, so to speak, when it comes to movies and TVs. And I bet like a lot of these channels, so like Screen Crush, the one I was just telling you, and there's a bunch of other like review channels, I think, like these guys have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, like, and I bet they have no idea what they're doing, like tax and accounting wise. So you know how they have like all the comics in the back and like the figurines and like, or you know, action figures, the collectibles, like those are all like business expenses for these guys. And I would imagine a lot of them like don't realize that. How much do you think like action figures like that, like collectible items?
So I'm the worst at that, bro. I have no idea. When people, because I see some of this stuff selling for like thousands.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys, like they're getting, you know, like original ones. They're spending a grip of money. That's like all business expenses. And of course, what does that mean? It brings your taxes down. Like I bet a lot of these guys have no idea about that. And I think there's a lot of, yeah, like YouTubers, gaming channels, like movie reviews, people who are like, you know, maybe 100,000 subscribers, like maybe like 500,000. They probably make their full-time living and have no idea like how to do any of this stuff. I'll give you an example. Actually, we were kind of talking about this off camera. Do you remember, what are the two banks I talked about that I think are the best going forward? Oh, yeah. So Blue Vine and Relay. Yeah.
I knew it was Relay something.
Like, I think every single one of these YouTubers, every single one of them should be using Blue Vine as their bank. Great question. So one, it's super easy to use. Like you can set up and start an account in like 20 minutes. It's an online bank. And the reason that's important is YouTubers, gamers, that their entire business is online. They make digital videos. They make digital sales. Like they use Square for, or maybe Stripe for payment processing, Shopify for their merch. And yet the one thing that they want to have a physical location is a bank. It doesn't compute with me. Like, wait, everything else is digital. That's the one thing you're holding out on, huh? But you'll use your debit card for everything. But you need a brick building for the bank? Like that doesn't make sense. So Blue Vine, I think it's where everything's going online. They give really good interest rates for even just like a business checking account. And a lot of, again, I imagine a lot of like YouTubers, gamers, they don't have an accountant. Like they're just doing it themselves. Well, if you're like in 6-figure range, like you need to know where your money is, like, and what's happening to it. And so like Blue Vine, it makes it easy to like add an accountant, add a business partner. So Screen Crush, I was telling you, based on their videos, like they sound like they have a team of people. I would actually recommend for them a bank like Relay, because it's a lot easier to like add people, give access to like team members. You can set like a limit on it. It's very simple. It's built for nowadays where everything is digital, right? What's the biggest problem with adding somebody to a bank account? One, oh, we need to verify the verification of the verification of the verification code that you verified through your email. It's ridiculous. And then the other part is, right, you add somebody by their email. Well, think about us, right? When somebody adds me as like the accountant, well, then someone else on our team doesn't have access. It's just me. Like that's ridiculous. Online banks now, they are doing it differently. Like they're doing it better, I think, for especially online businesses. So yeah, I think a lot of YouTubers and gamers, like they just don't know necessarily. And it resonates with me because I watch their channels and I'm like, man, I bet every time they go to Comicon, that's a business expense. Because like they are meeting, or hopefully they're meeting people, they're maybe trying to sell stuff, maybe they have a booth promoting their like channel or their products. Like that's a business expense. And I bet a lot of them don't write it off or know like what they're doing necessarily.
If you were talking to me and I was a gamer, what would be like 3 or 4 of the write-offs that you almost could guarantee I wasn't taking advantage of?
For everyone, it's going to be a little different. My best guess, just from one of the clients we have now and other returns that people have talked to us. So the biggest one I bet that they're missing is like advertising and their fees for like streaming. One of our clients, he makes a lot of his money through Twitch. And like same thing, like the fees that come off through that, the fees for being on Twitch and like advertising to get more like viewers, all of that. I bet a lot of people, they probably don't have a business card. And so they're just using their personal card. And like it's all perfectly legal. It's just not advantageous, like business wise. So I think they're missing a lot of that. I think another one is probably travel, is going, it's like Comicon or different events. You're going, or hopefully you're going with the intent for business. Like you're trying to meet people, trying to collaborate. Maybe you're shooting content for your channel as well. And the biggest one is like if you're sponsoring the conference or event, or if you have like a booth, like absolutely, that's a business expense. So I mean, that includes the plane tickets, the hotel, rental car, like, and me, I like to travel. So like we're here in San Diego this weekend. The other day we went to check out Point Loma Nazarene University because they have what is called the most scenic ballpark in America. And I believe that's the name. It's right on the ocean. It's like them and Pepperdine have like the two most beautiful baseball fields in the country. So like, when we had some downtime, we went and kind of checked it out. So these YouTubers and gamers, like same thing, when they go to Comicon, like they can have a good time as well. Like there's no reason they can't.
People that write off, like review movies and stuff, could they write off when they go to the theater to watch the movie?
Like anything, it's kind of a gray area. So I'll ask you this. What is the intent? Are you going just to enjoy the movie, or are you going for work? Like, do you write reviews? Are you going to make a review?
Like, let's say they are doing reviews.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about reviewing movies.
Yeah. Well, so I mean like that particular one. So like me, probably the last movie I went to see in the theater was A Haunting in Venice. I love Agatha Christie and murder mysteries. So like take that one for an example. YouTuber, they review movies. They're going to go watch A Haunting in Venice. You buy the ticket, you watch the movie. Yeah, it's tax deduction because, or it's a business expense, because later you're going to go make a video about it. That's for business. Now, the one big caveat I want to say is your channel, like you have to be like operating as a business. Not just like, oh, I'm going to film a selfie real quick for TikTok 10 cents. No, that's not. But as long as that's your actual business, yeah, absolutely. And so for like movie, so Screen Crush we talked about. There's another guy I watch. Oh, I want to get his name right. I think it's like Jeremy Johns. Hope I said that right. He's got a red background. They are like professionally reviewing movies and going to see them. Yeah, that's part of it. So yeah, absolutely. So that's probably another missing one. And all the stuff they have on their set for their videos, like the figurines, the comic books, the posters, those are all like decorations for the set. And right, especially they're on camera, they're there. Now, are you gonna pop in the DVD on a Friday night for date night and watch it? Yeah, I'm sure you will at some point. That's what it's there for. Like you also have it like in your shot. So yeah, I think those are probably the biggest ones that I think they probably just don't know. I think a lot of business owners, you start on your own with like one client, two client, and you're just doing everything on your own. When you get to making, when I say like significant money, like you crack $100,000, that's usually like a sweet spot. You're doing something right. And at that point, you probably need someone to like help you. I think at $100,000, you're either gonna like plateau there, or I guess maybe with inflation, maybe more. But you plateau at $100,000, or like you're gonna start growing. And I think it's kind of up to the business owner. Like, do you want to be a solopreneur or do you want to be like a business owner? Because if you're gonna grow, then you're gonna start like hiring people. You need someone who like can manage money, whether that's as small as bank accounts or as big as, hey, here, I looked at your tax returns. Here's how we're gonna save you taxes for the next 20 years and set up your kids. So, us, thankfully, we can kind of do all of that. A lot of business owners, and then since we're talking about like YouTubers and gamers, I think they don't know where to start.
If I came to you right now, hey, I want to start a business doing YouTube, whatever. I got my LLC, all that stuff together. What do I do?
So I'll give you two answers. For somebody who doesn't have anything yet, get your EIN and your LLC in the state you live in. So, right, like we're in California, so we'll use this as an example. So you open up a YouTube channel in California, you're hoping to make a lot of money. So you get your EIN letter. With that, you can open up a bank account. And the biggest thing is all your business money. So YouTube ad revenue, maybe you're selling merch like with Square. All of that goes into your business bank account. And then after that, Blue Vine, it's a good one. We like that. I wish we were sponsored by them, seriously, because we like them. We always tell people, hey, as a new business owner, put away like 20, 30% into a savings account because you're gonna pay taxes at some point. So just put it away now and keep it for when that day comes. So that'd be the biggest thing. For somebody who's already in business, and let's say you're making 50, 80, $100,000, you're like, all right, Drew, like I'm in, I need somebody to help me. First, well, I would say hire somebody, don't do it yourself. But the biggest thing is no commingling. So like business is business, personal is personal. So like keep those separate. And then how are you tracking your money, right? A lot of people start with Excel sheets. That's cool, that makes sense. It's very manual. QuickBooks is the gold standard. And I would say if you think you need an accounting software, you need an accountant, right? There's no reason for the business owner to do their own accounting at that point. So yeah, I would say that. Find an accountant. Obviously, we would love to take on everybody, but that's, I think you would agree that we can't take on billions of people as clients. So I would say find an accountant that hopefully knows your industry a little bit better than most. Getting like general advice, that's cool. Like you need somebody who kind of knows like this. I mean, like very specific examples. Hey, like all these things you're doing, we can flip this and benefit the business and taxes and stuff. Our hope is to do more than just like taxes and accounting for people, right? And if that includes, hey, we need to beef up your CRM and kind of set some standards for like pricing and services, cool. There's one client we helped with not too long ago, like they didn't have contracts or anything with their clients. So like we wrote them and we set up like their system to have clients sign online. So yeah, our goal is to help our clients beyond just filing taxes and doing books. And it just kind of depends on the client. And for YouTubers, like we've talked about, I think a lot of them, they're missing the information and, we can do it for them basically. And so they can spend more time on the business. So that's the goal. And yeah, I think it's just, they don't know it yet. And since I'm into it, I watch a lot of Screen Crush videos. Yeah, dude, it's like, it's honestly like sports. Like they have pregame shows, the show, and there's postgame shows, like wrap-ups, yeah. And I watch all of them.